In this video, I want to continue my review of linear functions. And one thing that comes to mind when we talk about functions is, what is the parent function? So the parent function is the most basic form of a function without any bells or whistles. Some people call it parent function. I prefer the term mother function. So I want to show you the mother function of a linear function. And what that is this is a graph of the mother function. And if we write this out, it's really just quite straightforward. Y equals mx plus b, where m is 1 and b is 0. So in this form, y equals mx plus b, m is 1, y equals 1x plus, and b is 0. And so when I simplify that, it is simply y equals x. And if you look at this picture here, you can see when x is 1, y is 1. When x is 2, y is 2. There's been no transformation of this function. You may recall in geometry, we took figures and transformed them. Well, the same thing is true with functions. You can stretch them, you can move them, you can do all sorts of things. And that's kind of the basic idea. We're going to spend a lot of time with transformations of functions and translations, but just to remember that every type of function, linear, quadratic, exponential, polynomial, it has a mother function that you need to know inside and out, because the changes to that parent will predict what's going to happen with the function. So slope-intercept form, I just alluded to it. Y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope, right? And b is the y-intercept. So use the slope-intercept form to find the equation. Let me move my face out of the way. To find the equation of the line that passes through the points -3, 6, and -5, 10. So that passes through these points. Well, the first thing that comes to mind is, okay, what is the slope? So again, we're going back to slope formula. I'm plugging in these y coordinates, the change in y, 10 minus 6 is 4. I'm plugging in the change in x, right? I'm going from -5 to -3, so that's a -2, right, net. So you can see that this function has a downward slope, right? It has a slope of -2. Well, now it's just a matter of plugging this in. So y equals 10. I can use either one of these points. So the y coordinate that goes with this function that I'm pointing at, right, is 10. The slope is -2. The x coordinate is -5. And b is what I'm trying to solve for. What is the intercept? And you'll get the same result if you plug in 6 here and -3 here. So just have to simplify that. -2 times -5 is 10. You get 10 on each side. So when you subtract the 10 from each side, you get b of 0. Well, great. So y equals -2x plus 0. And when you have a plus 0, you can just leave it as y equals -2x. So now you try it. Find the equation of the line that passes through these 2 points. Go ahead and pause the video, try it out, and then come back and check your answer. All right, welcome back. Here we go. We're passing through these 2 points. So again, first things first, let's determine what the slope is. So I'm saying, hey, this is going to be 0.2, this is going to be 0.1. 8 minus a -2 is a positive 10, and 7 minus 9 is -2. Again, this equation is going to have, or this line or equation has a negative slope, -5. So now that I've got that figured out, you probably already had, oh, Mr. Rising, I got it. I'm going to use, it doesn't matter which point, as long as you use both coordinates from the same point. So -2 goes into the y, 9 goes into the x, so -2 equals -5 times 9 plus b. And go ahead and simplify that. -2 equals -45 plus b. Add 45 to both sides, and you get b equals 43. So lo and behold, y equals -5x plus 43. Graphing lines, when you know the tricks of the trade, this really gets easy, and that's what's really what's so cool about it. Let me just pull something up here and see what my how things are looking. Let me go here and see what this one looks like for just 1 second. Sorry for the delay, but I know you can handle it. So, okay, think about it. In which form is this equation written? Well, it's slope-intercept. So if I just right off the bat go to -4, 0, -4, that's this point right here, and then my slope is +3, that means I go up 3, 1, 2, 3 over 1, up 3, 1, 2, 3 over 1, up 3, 1, 2, 3 over 1, etc. That is the easiest way to graph that line. You can just look at it and say, well, hey, my y-intercept is -4, and from that point, I'm going to go up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1. Now, sometimes you'll get equations in different forms. Ms. Cronin put this one together. Anyone recall what form this is when you have an x and y on the same side? Well, in either case, you can either rewrite this equation in slope-intercept form or find 2 points, right? So if you find 2 points, and those points should be find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So what we do when we want to find the intercept is just simply plug in a 0 for one of these and solve for the other. So 2 times 0. So when you plug in a 0, what are you going to get? Well, that simplifies. -3y equals 6. Divide both sides by -3. And you already know this. You can figure it out fast enough. Y equals -2. So y equals -2 when x is 0. So when x is 0, y is -2. I'm right here. That's one of my points. Well, now I just need to find the other point. It's easy enough to do. Plug in a 0 here into the y. So when I plug in a 0 here for y, right? That's my x-intercept or my y-intercept. When I want to find my x-intercept, plug a 0 in for the y. Of course, that's going to all make this cancel out, and you're left with 2x equals 6. Divide both sides by 2, and x equals 3. Well, so what we're saying is, well, hey, well, when y is 0, x is 3, or when x is 3, 1, 2, 3, y is 0. Now it's easy enough to just make a line through those 2 points. So I can go like that. Voila. That's all I've got for this section. We will review more in the next.